Hello Yarniversee students, thank you for tuning into my video today. Today I'm going to be showing you a tutorial of how I do my cover up that's not so covered up. And what I mean by that is I'm going to make a bikini cover up that matches this crochet bikini top and this crochet bikini bottom with holes. So it's kind of like a peekaboo, kind of not all the way see-through, but like peekaboo. You're gonna have holes on maybe the right cheek, the left cheek, close to the thigh. You're gonna have holes all around the skirt, but it's still a cover, if you get what I'm saying. So today what you're gonna need for this tutorial is some yarn. I have some big twist yarn. This is 269 yards of yarn. Now I have 2 balls of yarn. At the end of the video I will let you know how many skeins, or how many. I'm gonna let you know if I use both. Okay, I'm gonna let you know if I use both of the skeins and if I only use half of the skein. But I do have a big bumper, so I might use 2. So let's get started. Marker. I have a weaving needle. I have a 5mm crochet hook with a grip, and I also have this acrylic big twist yarn. So today I'm going to be working with the chain stitch. I'm going to make a slip knot, leaving just a chain, a little bit of a string at the end. I always leave a string just for safety in order to weave it in at the end or to crochet over it. Now I'm going to make a chain. The chain that you are going to make is going to measure out your waist. The chain I'm going to make is going to measure out around my waist. But if you want your skirt to be a little more revealing, you can always measure lower or higher if you want it to be a little less revealing. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to make a slip knot. And I'm going to make a chain. I've finished making a chain of how long I want it to be. This is my waist right here. And this is where I have it at. Now be mindful that as you crochet, your work will stretch out, but so be mindful that your work will stretch out. I do have a little extra give, so just to make sure that it will pull over my butt, but you can always oversize the skirt around your waist and add some strings on the side to cinch in your waist if you are too afraid to make the skirt, you know, the exact size of your waist, just in case it does or doesn't pull above your butt. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to slip stitch the end of my work to the beginning of my work. And what you want to do is you're going to make sure that your chain isn't turned. So I'm going to slip stitch into the beginning. Slip stitch. Then I'm going to be working with a double crochet. So I'm going to chain 2. For the first row, I'm going to be working in the back loops of the chain, so I'm not going to be putting my hook in the front part of the stitches. I'm going to put it in the back. So what that would look like is I'm going to yarn over, place my hook under, that loop, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through another 2, and I'm going to continue that all the way around. So I'm going under this, so I made it back around. And now I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the chain that I first started with. So I'm going to slip stitch into here. And I'm going to chain one. I'm chaining one and then I'm turning my work. Do a double crochet into each stitch, but here is where you know, use your creative ability. So when I write out this pattern and I post it, you have the option to put the circles or the open spaces wherever you feel comfortable. If you feel like you want to have an open space close to your, you know what, you can have an open space over there. If you want to have it only on your sides, you can have the open spaces on your side, but I'm gonna place them everywhere. So when it comes to the open circle, you're gonna count how wide you want your circle. So if you want your open space to be 1, 2, 3, this 4 open spaces right here, but be mindful, this is really where your butt is. So I'm gonna go over a little bit. I'm gonna put double crochets. And now I'm going to count how many, you know, chains or stitches I want to be open. So that I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna chain 3, 1, 2, and then I'm gonna go into the third one. 1, 2, 3, and then I'm gonna go into that third stitch and put a double crochet. So now I have an open space, and you want to try to not place open spaces too close to each other. So I'm gonna go around with double crochets. Okay, and I'm going to put an open space over here. So what you want to do is you're going to pull your string just a little bit, and you're going to count how many spaces you want, or how big you want that hole to be. So this first hole was pretty small, and this one is going to be around my hip area. So I'm going to do a little wider of a hole. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you could chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm gonna count my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm gonna go into that 5th stitch with a double crochet. And then I'm gonna continue that all the way around. I'm gonna continue doing double crochets all the way around and stopping wherever I see fit to put a hole or to put a circle. Now I made it back around from doing double crochets and putting open circles wherever I feel like it. Now I'm gonna slip stitch into the very first stitch, chain 1, and then I'm going to turn my work. And I'm gonna go into the stitches again with double crochets, and I'm going to place holes wherever I feel like it, or place open spaces wherever I feel like it. So I'm going to come back once I reach the spot where I want to place the open space. I want to do a space at, and I just wanted to show you another way to do the space. So instead of making a chain, you can just pull your string and double crochet into the stitch. So I'm going to make a pretty wide opening this time. So I'm gonna go 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So I'm gonna have an open space up to 10. So I'm gonna pull my string and I'm going to yarn over, push my hook through that loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And there you also have an open space. These open spaces tend to make a wider, you know, hole, and these tend to have, you know, a little more tension than this one. So it all depends on your, you know, preference of how see-through you want your cover up, or how, you know, covered up you actually want to be. So you're just going to double crochet all the way until you meet your first hole, and then I'm going to show you what to do. Okay, so I made it back around to the very first like hole that I made in the skirt, and I'm going to show you guys what to do now. You aren't going to crochet into every stitch. You are going to remember or count how many stitches you skipped. So 1 2 3 4, and you crocheted into the 5th one. So you're going to crochet 1 2 3 4 and then this 5th one, and then you're going to continue crocheting into the stitches. So you're going to put a crochet, double crochet into the stitches, and you're just going to go all the way around, and you're going to keep following this scheme, this pattern of putting double crochets into every stitch, except for the stitches that you want a hole in, or except for the stitches that you've made the hole in. So you, for this one, you would do the same thing that you did here. I skipped 10 in this space, so I'm gonna put 10 double crochets in this hole. I'm going to continue doing this pattern, but I will come back and show you how to do increases in the hip areas, just in case, you know, your hips are a lot wider than the skirt that is being made. I made it back around from finishing this row. Now I'm going to show you what to do if you want to do an increase or a decrease. So this row has holes in it, and it has holes by the hip area. So for the next round, you can either do a round of no holes, so just one double crochet into every stitch, also filling up these stitches, and then you can do your increases in the next row. Or you can, the row that you would like to put the increases in, you're going to make sure that you don't put any holes by the hip area. So if you wanted to do an increase in the next row, you're going to make sure that you don't put any holes into the area where you're going to make that increase, and the increases usually go in the hip area. Now, from putting one double crochet into every stitch, now I'm going to slip stitch into the top of that very first stitch. And I'm going to chain one and turn my work. Now what you're going to do for this, you're going to want to put a safety pin or a placeholder here if you know you don't want to lose any stitches, but right now I can't find one. Okay, there's two ways to do this. Now you can put your skirt in the middle, put your seam in the middle, and fold it over, and then you can find where you know, you want your increases to be, or you can do it the long way. You're going to count all of your stitches, then you're going to divide it by 2, and then you're going to divide that number by 2 again. So what you're going to do is you're going to count all the way until you get to that second number. You're going to put an increase into that number stitch, whichever number that is for you. Then you're going to go around to that first number you got when you divided your total amount of stitches, and you're going to do an increase wherever that stitch is. Now, say this is my 25th stitch, right? This is just for an example. Say this is my 25th stitch, and now I need to get to that first number. Maybe it's 50 on this side. I'm gonna start over counting from 1. So this is the 25th stitch, but I'm gonna go, this is the 25th stitch over here, but I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 until I get to 50 over here. Because if you start from 25 and then you count to 50, you're gonna end up in the middle over here, and you don't want to increase on the side and in the middle when you have 2 hips. So just to speed this process up, I'm going to fold mine over, and I'm going to do my increases there. I'm going to place a stitch marker in the middle of where I want my increases to be. But if you want a more precise placement, you're going to do the equation that I told you before. Yeah, I'm not tracking. Now I'm going to put a double crochet into every stitch until I reach my stitch marker. So I'm going to come back once I reach my stitch marker and show you all what to do. I made it back around to where I need to place my increase, so I'm going to put 2 double crochets into that one stitch. I made it back around to where I need to place my increase, so I'm going to put 2 double crochets into that one stitch. And then I'm going to put 1 double crochet into the rest of the stitches, and then I'm going to put 1 double crochet into every stitch, and that will complete this row. Now for this row, you can put holes in this row as well. So if I wanted to, I could place a hole back here like this in this area, and then you can continue your work. But I just want to complete it with 1 double crochet in every stitch, and then in the next row I'll begin doing holes again. So these are some things that you want to follow. If you made an increase and you find that your skirt is still not big enough, you can make as many increases as you want. But what you need to remember is that you need to keep your increase rows consecutive. So if you do 1 increase here, you're going to want to do another increase in the next row, and in the next row, and then in the next row, to make it as wide as you want. So you're going to do your increase rows in like one, you know, continuous set of rows. Because if you do an increase row, then you do a regular row, then you do an increase row, then you do a regular row, then you do an increase row, then you do a regular row, it's going to be wavy, and it's not going to be a very flush skirt. Because when you do increase rows, then you do increase row, regular row, increase row, regular row, that's typically how you would, you know, work a like tutu skirt. So you're gonna end up with a wavy skirt instead of a pencil skirt. But if that's what you're going for, girl, that's what you're going for. But for this tutorial, you want to make sure that you keep your increase stitches right next to each other. So increase here, increase here, increase here, increase here. If that's how big you need your skirt to be, then you do your regular rows. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys how to do a decrease. So you're going to fold over your work again, and you are going to you're gonna go in here. You're going to put it where you're going to put the decrease. You're going to uplift this one and put it in here as well. I'll put it in this one. Okay, and now I'm going to do double crochets in every stitch until I reach this point. So I made it to the white, or the placeholder that I put in to know where I'm going to do the decrease. And in order to do the decrease, what you're going to do is gonna yarn over, push your hook through the loop, pull up a loop. Then you are going to go under the stitch right next to that stitch that you're working in, pull up a loop, then you yarn over. I pull through 3 loops, then I yarn over and pull through 2. And that's my decrease. My skirt has come to an end. I am going to chain 1 and cut a string. Pull the string tight, and then I'm going to just weave in the ends. I only have 2 for this project. Yep, because it's just flush straight down. What I will say is that, remember in the beginning of the video, I didn't know if I would need 1 or 2 balls of yarn. I used 1 ball of yarn with maybe 10 inches of yarn from the other ball. So depending on your size, you can adjust it. You might, if you're smaller than me, you may really only need 1, but if you're larger than me, then you will probably need more than 1. I'm gonna take my weaving needle and I'm going to loop it in. I tend to put a knot in it so it doesn't come out as easy. Right, and I just push it through the back loops. Now, although I'm wearing this skirt as a cover up, I do see this as being like any kind of skirt. Like really, if you dress goth, if you dress like super classy, yeah, not super classy, but if you dress goth, if you dress like risque, if you have like one of those like fashion styles where you layer clothes, this would be like a really cute skirt. All right, Yarniversee students, thank you for tuning into my video today. Class is now dismissed. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more videos, and to be a part of my community of, you know, just expressing yourself through, you know, crocheting and through different fiber arts. I am so grateful that you joined me today, and I hope that you were able to learn something from this video. And if you do try out this tutorial, tag me in your photo on Instagram, as well as check out my description box below for all of my social medias. In the description box below, you can also check out my shop. I now have yarn available. I have some more higher end yarns that are available on my website, and I will have acrylic yarns coming very, very soon. Probably before the end of May, we will have some yarn on my website, some acrylic yarn. So, and I'm also building a website for you to be able to purchase bikinis and all of the things that I truly do create. You'll be able to purchase them on my website, and any of the demo products, like the ones that I use for my crochet videos, I will be uploading them to Depop because I've already worn them, so I'll be selling them for obviously a lesser price. But if you order on my website, they'll be the price that, you know, I feel it's worth. So thank you for tuning into my video again, and I'll see you next video. Bye.